You're watching the ACC on ESPN. And we welcome you inside the Smith Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. It's college basketball tonight as the Bison of Bucknell meet the North Carolina Tar Heels. And a very pleasant good evening, everybody. I'm Dave Weekley. Happy to be alongside Mark Adams for this one. And Mark, it could be another milestone night for veteran North Carolina coach Roy Williams as he goes for his 400th win in Chapel Hill, 200th in this building. But the other big story, Joel Berry, the point guard for North Carolina, makes his season debut tonight.
Well, if absence makes the heart grow fonder, Joel Berry is very fond tonight of this program and this opportunity. Joel Berry, the most outstanding player in the 2017 Final Four. Here's his tweet. Felt great to get back on the court yesterday with my brothers. Don't know how much you love something until it gets taken. And it was taken away because of, frankly, his own self-inflicted injury. But he's back tonight, and I'm happy for him. And he's in a beautiful blue heaven here tonight in Chapel Hill.
Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups for the 0-2 Bucknell Bison. Stephen Brown making his 85th consecutive start. McKenzie, Toomer, Williams in the starting lineup. And Bucknell controls the tip. Williams, Pinson, Barry Brooks, and Luke May. No Cameron Johnson tonight. We'll tell you why in just a moment. And we'll stay at this end as the ball is kicked. Our officials tonight, Les Jones, Jeff Clark, and Ramey Styons.
Dave, it's going to be really interesting to see what type of a start Bucknell gets off to. They played very well against Monmouth, lost a heartbreaker. They really came out flat against Arkansas. And when you go into Razorback heaven and play those guys and you're flat, you're going to get handled. And that's exactly what happened. But this is a very talented team with everybody back from their NCAA tournament team a year ago. I like Bucknell. They could make a run here tonight.
Yeah, they're 0-2 and lead 2-0.
And that's critical that they establish a post presence early with Nana Folland, who was the Patriot League Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year last year. He's a good big guy.
So Folland with an early bucket, and the Heels look to answer and take the lead here. Bucknell in a man-to-man. May the offensive board and quickly the foul. And that's big against Thomas, and they definitely don't want him in foul trouble. Nathan Davis in his third season on the bench, and he's done a wonderful job at Bucknell. We're going to get back to the NCAA tournament. Here's May at the free throw line.
And Nathan Davis has continued to build on the winning tradition at Bucknell. This is a program that's won 6 out of the last 7 regular season Patriot League championships. Obviously went to the NCAA tournament last year. This is the class of the Patriot League, the Bucknell Bison.
May goes 1 for 2 at the free throw line. He had 26 points and 10 rebounds in the season opener against Northern Iowa on Friday night. Follow-away shot is up and good by Kimbrel McKenzie, and he needs to get off to a quick start.
Yeah, known as a great shooter, only 1 for 13 on the season from 3. But right now, Bucknell off to a great start. How about Luke May as they find him inside? Theo Pinson with the assist. Good vision.
Pinson can literally play all 5 positions on the floor, and will probably play 4 of the 5 tonight.
Yeah, and he can guard 3 or 4 positions as well, maybe all 5.
Inside, wouldn't go, May the rebound, and he'll bring it into the front court. Here's Kenny Williams going strong to the hole. Pinson brings it back around to Barry, on the way for 3. Welcome back.
A tremendous spacing by North Carolina in their full court offense. Man, do they attack.
Toomer gives it up, and here's a long one from Thomas, and that's got to be 27 feet.
He's averaging 27.5 points a game in his 2 games, 13 rebounds, and shooting 56% from 3. Now it's more like 60.
Williams trying to match it.
Well, he played really well against Northern Iowa. Guy that was able to rebound it, score it, assist it. There you saw his ability to stretch it. I like the inside-out look.
Well, and inside, tough luck shot wouldn't hang in there. Pinson, the board, and he brings it into the front court. Pinson wants to drive. Wild shot. And we will stay at this end.
Watch Luke May. 2 dribbles and then gives it up court. Look at that pass. It's 50 feet in the making. Ball goes right, reverses left, and Joel Berry, the most outstanding player in the 2017 Final Four, he's back and back in a big way already.
The foul's going to go against Stephen Brown, his first. You mentioned all 5 starters are back for Bucknell. Not just their starters, 10 of their top 12 players return. Williams from the top, a fall away. Contact and no call. That's going to go out of bounds. The officials rule that ball was not touched, and it goes back over to the Bison. Roy Williams, his 45th year as a coach, 15th at North Carolina.
And all he ever wanted to do was be like his high school coach, Buddy Baldwin.
Not bad.
I love that. You ask him who's most influential in his life, most male influence in his life, Buddy Baldwin, his former high school coach, who typically is at all the games. Won't be here tonight, but Buddy, we're thinking about you.
Shot from the wing would not go down for Toomer. That was great help defense by Garrison Brooks as he cut off Thomas, who wanted to go to the baseline. Now the pass inside, Brooks can't control it, and it's a turnover for the Tar Heels. Boy, Brooks, he dropped that pass, but he looked so good the other night against Northern Iowa. Scored 14 points in 18 minutes. And Roy Williams says he's got the highest basketball IQ of all of his young big men on this roster. Thomas with an open look from the wing, can't leave him open. Carolina gets away with it that time. Berry wants to lead the break. Pass is deflected and stolen.
Really good transition by the Bison of Bucknell.
Great
ankle
move.
breaker.
Wow, great move by Stephen Brown in the finish.
Well, he really gets to the rack. Really saw his quickness.
Henson. And the follow is up and in by Garrison Brooks.
There's the freshman, there's the IQ, there's the rim runner. Number 15 in white for North Carolina.
Another runner in the lane would not go for Brown. One and done. Berry into the front court. You can still see he's wearing some tape on that right hand. Henson from the wing for 3. Williams the rebound. North Carolina led the nation in offensive rebounds last year.
They out-rebounded their opponents during the NCAA tournament by +9 rebounds a game.
May backs in. He's going to draw the foul, and he's going to go to the free throw line. Free throws will be coming after this media timeout. 15:26 to go in our first half. Carolina with an early lead. Thomas from deep for Bucknell. North Carolina with a 2-point lead on Bucknell early in the first half. Roy Williams. Here he is. This is a great comparison. So close in proximity and so close when it comes to being so special in the game.
Legendary numbers by legendary coaches since 2003. 5 Final Fours for North Carolina under Roy Williams. 3 for Coach K. National titles. 3 national titles for Roy Williams. Nobody else has won 3 national titles since 2003 except that man, Roy Williams. You know, Dave, when I was getting ready for this game, I started thinking in terms of if I were to pick any 3 programs to win a national title, who would they be? I picked Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina. Then I thought to myself, who would I favor to win the most national championships? Just off the top of my head. And I immediately said Kentucky, Duke, and then North Carolina. I'm an idiot.
The numbers don't point that out, do they?
Then I did the research and saw where North Carolina with 3 national titles, 5 Final Fours since 2003. North Carolina has been the quintessential epitome of success in college basketball since 2003 under Roy Williams. I mean, look at that. 2005 national champs, 2008 runners-up, 2009 national champs, 2016 national runners-up. And then Joel Berry told me before the game, that disappointment from 2016, that's why it felt so good. It fueled them for 2017 for their run of the national title.
Think about that, how close it could have been for North Carolina to win national titles back-to-back. North Carolina out-rebounding Bucknell right now 9-1. Turnaround won't hang in there for Sterling Manley, who's coming off the bench. Nate Jones has also come in, along with Jimmy Sotos and Nat Sestina for Bucknell.
Dave, not only 9-1, but 6 different Tar Heels have gotten a rebound.
Barry nearly had the steal. Ball on the floor. And it's going to be over and back. That's another turnover for Bucknell, their second.
So that ball was tipped. In the new rules this year, if the ball is tipped by a defensive player and the offensive player goes in the backcourt to retrieve it, that's not over and back.
Yep.
I don't think that was the right call.
We're going to go over some of the rule changes in college basketball at halftime. Seventh Woods now into the game. May. Back to Barry. Couldn't bury that. Manley, he's so big inside. And Pinson's going to go to the free throw line for two. We're talking about Manley today at the shoot-around. Nobody really knows his wingspan, but I mean, get a load of this young guy. 6'11", 240 from Pickerington, Ohio.
Yeah, Sterling Manley at 6'11". He has such a tremendous ceiling. Now, when he started practice, he wasn't in very good shape. There were insiders to the Tar Heel family here that weren't sure he was even going to make it to November. He's the most improved North Carolina Tar Heel since the beginning of practice this season. And when you see him run and jump and play now, he makes a difference out there.
Yeah, Manley's a young guy who had not one, but two broken legs. Broke each leg in his high school career, once in his sophomore year and once in his junior year.
And it certainly affected his development, because all big guys, they develop late in their careers.
And that's a turnover. Sestina, you know, you get backed in there and suddenly you feel Manley's on the defense. You got to do something special to get it to the rim.
And there's one of the points of emphasis for the officials to call walking down the post. That time Manley, he bought that call because he intimidated inside.
Luke May won't stay in there for him. Pinson the offensive rebound.
And Manley kept it alive.
Pinson gets a pick up top. He puts it on the floor, shoots it, and look at that ball movement by Carolina. Manley the board and the putback.
That's because of spacing and ball movement. Defenders not able to move in rhythm as that ball moves so quickly, which left the avenue to the offensive glass. Well done by North Carolina. 6
offensive boards in the first 6.5 minutes of play here in the first half. Baseline shot up, no good. But Sotos from Elk Grove Village, Illinois, is heading to the free throw line for two.
Look at the drive. Now watch the ball movement. Look at the spacing. That creates avenues to the offensive glass. That's why Manley got there to stick it back in. You put so much pressure on the defense when you can spot up, dribble drive, contract the defense, then make it expand, and then try to block off. It's very difficult to do.
Sotos makes the first free throw, and free throw shooting has been a problem for the Bison in the first two games. As a team, shooting just 49%. I mean, they're shooting over 40% from outside the arc and less than 50% at the line. We'll see if that flattens out as the season goes along.
They've got good shooters on this basketball team. That's just a statistical anomaly early in the season. Cincinnati, for example, they shot 50% in their first game and then shot 80% in their second game. By the way, Cincinnati's really good.
Yeah, that's the word that Mick Cronin's really got a really great team, maybe his best. Woods the pull-up pop and rattles on in. Collins back in there, 20 for the Bison. The lead is 6 for Carolina.
I don't sense any panic with Bucknell. This is a seasoned veteran basketball team. Good catch.
Nice feed inside. They find the open man. 3 on the way. Would not go down for Sotos.
They just can't get an offensive rebound.
Williams inside. Felton into the game. Kicks it in to Brooks. Bucknell in the front court. A chance to get a little closer here as we get ready to go under 12 minutes to play first half.
And they got to continue to look inside out to Nana Fallen inside or the dribble drive in. One way or the other, they got to get the ball to the rim.
Manley, the rim protector, able to get that rebound. Here's Williams. Brooks, and he's going to be called on the travel. 11:54 to go. We got an official timeout on the floor. Carolina at home leads Bucknell by 6. 11:54 to go first half at the Smith Center here in Chapel Hill. North Carolina leads Bucknell 17-11. And right now the Heels with a big edge. Mark rebounding the basketball 14-4. And Carolina, they're moving it around.
Look at the spacing. Look at the white jerseys, the cuts, the screens inside to Luke May to open up the game. I like what Carolina's doing as far as floor spacing because it puts so much pressure on the defense and their ability to make the three ball and then get the ball inside out like this as now the ball goes A to B to C. And Joel Berry's a good option, but Manley's an even better option on the offensive glass. That's really good ball movement.
Now Bucknell could use some of that. They've gone now 4 minutes and 16 seconds without a field goal, and they've got possession of the ball as we come back to the live action.
The difference is Bucknell is getting the ball inside, making the defense contract, but then they got to kick it out. Yep. There's so many trees inside, they can't get a good look. I'd like to see them play more inside-out basketball.
Thomas and Brown back on the floor for the Bison. But Brown is really quick at the point. Thomas is their number one scoring option, and that ball was partially blocked by Brooks. And Carolina has the basketball.
And there's Nana Folland right there. The Patriot League has a history of great big guys. Remember Donald Foyle?
Oh, yeah,
Colgate,
great player.
Led the country in block shots. Tim Kempton at Lehigh recently. Mike Muscala, now in the NBA, a former Bucknell Bison.
Plays for the
Nana
Hawks.
Folland, he and Muscala are the only two guys, to win Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. Nana Folland can play.
May. You know,
So can he
he plays a little bit. He looks so comfortable out there. The way he just was scoring at ease against Northern Iowa. We're talking about a young guy. Sure, he hit some big shots in the NCAA tournament. Nobody's going to forget that one against Kentucky. But he's a young guy who only played 14 minutes a game last year. Thomas for 3. He's got 6 points now.
Luke May is just a really good basketball player with a tremendous work ethic there with the assist inside.
Brooks puts it in. Nice feed by May.
All Luke May does is win. There's two kinds of players. Guys that help you win and guys that help you get beat.
Boy,
Luke
Thomas,
May's the guy helps you win.
That was a nice move by Thomas. He thought about the 27-footer and thought, hey, I can get closer to the basket. So he forced the issue and earned 2 at the free throw line. Now, Carolina's a really interesting looking basketball team this year. Last year they had the veteran inside guys in the younger backcourt. This year exactly the opposite. The veterans are the guards, and they've got a ton of talented but inexperienced guys in the front court.
Yeah, they lost 6'10", 260 Kennedy Meeks, who I absolutely love. What a load he was there. Isaiah Hicks at 6'9", 242, and then Justin Jackson, just a guy that just had a tremendous motor at 6'8", 210. You know, but when you look at a guy like Luke May, obviously he's a different type of player than those guys, but very, very effective. And no one's worked harder in this program to hone his game.
Thomas makes the second free throw, 21-14. Nearly a turnover. Mace. Nice bounce pass to Pinson. Wow.
That's a winner. Number 32 is a winner. That's what Folland can do now.
Folland with the right hand rolls it in.
Really good stuff. Hey, Bucknell's showing some poise here against the defending national champs.
Berry. And that is Folland's first block shot of the year. Out of the deep corner, good for Kimball McKenzie.
He doesn't look like a 1 for 13 shooter tonight. We knew he wasn't.
May falls away. He's got it. He's got a great shooting rhythm, no doubt about it. 8 points now in the early going.
He has a great feel for the game. He just sees all aspects of the game. It's like a point guard in a forward's body.
Brown and May got a piece of that. Coming back 3-on-2. Berry leads the way. The dish. Felton to finish. Timeout, Bucknell.
Well, Nana Folland with the block right there defensively. Certainly make a difference offensively and defensively. On the opposite end, there's the block by Luke May, who has assist, basket, block shot. And that led to the break with Joel Berry leading the way. I like your chances to score in that situation.
11 North Carolina field goals on 8 assists here in the first half. Cameron Johnson making a lot of news here in Chapel Hill this afternoon. The news came out earlier this afternoon that he needed surgery to fix a meniscus in his left knee. That surgery took place here at UNC around 3 o'clock this afternoon. We got the word about 45 minutes before the tip that the surgery went well. He's expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. He's a grad transfer from the University of Pittsburgh and a young guy that they were really counting on to make a lot of threes from the wing.
I saw him last year at Pitt. He's a really smart young man. Finished his degree in 3 years at Pitt. Highly skilled, can knock down shots. It's a great get for North Carolina.
Foul is going to be on Berry. Team foul number 4. So we were asking Roy Williams this afternoon, with no Johnson around to help fill it up from the wing, who are his best three-point shooters? And he said May and Berry.
Folland has shown the ability to score against
Williams. Ahead to Pinson. And he'll go to the free throw line. And that's a perfect example of why Roy Williams can't wait for Kenny Williams to get on the floor. He does so many things for you.
Look at the transition from defense to offense here. When they get steals, long rebounds, they just explode to the opposite end.
One more for Pinson.
Now, Pinson had some foot issues, but he's healthy now. Roy Williams doesn't have to do as much running. They do the ropes now for a lot of their cardiovascular stuff, because this is a program that likes to run a lot anyway, concerned about stress fractures, lower leg injuries, and things like that. So they augment that with using the ropes with their upper body.
Pinson's got 5, and number 5, Felton, will come out. And Manley, 21, will come back on for the Tar Heels. May's going to put a little on-ball pressure here. Roy Williams still working out his combinations.
Yeah, just about everybody in the country is.
Yeah. Pinson's got some blood, and they're working on that over on the Tar Heel bench right now. Brown into the front court.
They're trying to isolate Thomas with not a foul. That's good stuff.
And that's what an upperclassman can do to a freshman. What a great spin move. 6 points now.
Yeah, he's one of the best bigs in mid-major basketball right now. Not a foul on number 20 for Bucknell. Matched up with Manley inside.
May from the top for 3. He's got 11. First player tonight in double figures.
He's easy to root for. He's worked so hard to put himself in position.
Fallen. Air ball. Carolina wants to push it. Here's Williams. Fallen got a piece of that.
So he didn't hang his head. He did not hang his head on that air ball. Went back and made a play.
Thomas has it on the low block, and he'll go in there with a right-handed finish.
Well, they are doing an excellent job of feeding the ball down the left-hand block and finding ways to score with that right-handed jump hook, whether it be Thomas or Fallen.
May, and he is fouled by Toomer, and he'll shoot free throws when we come back after this official timeout on the floor. 7.5 minutes to go till halftime. North Carolina leads 32-24. Fallen with the big throwdown, and then May answers with a 3 for North Carolina. Carolina leads Bucknell by 8. 7.5 minutes to go, first half. And we talked about Cameron Johnson, going to be out 4 to 6 weeks after meniscus surgery on his left knee earlier today here in Chapel Hill. Here's the kind of things he can do. Had 24 points last year for the Pitt Panthers against North Carolina.
And he shot 45% from behind the arc for the season for Pitt. There's always 2 parts of a transfer story. For North Carolina, it's nothing but good news. For Pitt, nothing but bad news.
Yeah.
Pitt lost to Navy and Montana open the season. That's how much they miss Cameron Johnson, and his 45% from three.
And Johnson's a rare in-conference transfer. May misses the first and then knocks in a second free throw. Lead is 9. Soto brings it into the front court. 8 different Tar Heels have scored here in the first half for North Carolina. May marking Thomas. Nice backdoor. McKenzie.
Great job.
Make the extra pass, and Thomas couldn't knock it in.
Well, I like the offense, though. Bucknell is really executing well.
McKenzie with the steal.
That's not over and back. It's a good no call. I just like the poise that Bucknell's shown here. We're only down 9. Get a bucket here, get this thing to 7 or 6. They spread the floor well. A little bit of a donut now without Nana Folland in the game. 6 seconds on the shot clock.
McKenzie rises up from 25, offline, no good. And that's a great defensive set for North Carolina. And doing more with less, Mark.
Indiana State, with a budget of $1.8 million, knocked off Indiana over $12 million their men's basketball budget. That's how big that upset was. Georgia Southern knocks off Wake Forest. Navy over Pitt, Montana over Pitt, and Liberty goes and beats Wake Forest. Those are some of the early season do more with less, lower budget programs that have knocked off the big guys.
I think that's 2 years in a row that Indiana State has beaten the Hoosiers. Barry with a great ball fake, and he is fouled.
Indiana State beat Butler last year, and Fort Wayne beat Indiana at Fort Wayne last year.
That's right.
Greg Lansing does a tremendous job with Indiana State, the Sycamores, as they went in. Archie Miller's debut at Indiana, made them down by 30, beat them by 21, 90-69.
Nathan Davis, the coach for Bucknell, looking on as North Carolina moves into the 1-and-1. Barry hits the first. Got 4 points early.
Nathan Davis almost engineered the upset of West Virginia last year in the NCAA tournament. Lost that one 86-80 in a tremendous game in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
That was a great game. It was a game where West Virginia had to lead by 15 in the first half, and the Bison pulled back to within 3 late before West Virginia advanced. McKenzie, with all that West Virginia pressure last year, only committed 1 turnover in that game. McKenzie with a dump down. Fallen with a double team him. They find the open man, and there you go. Sotos knocks it down from the wing for 3.
Sotos gets the bucket, but Nana Folland gets the great pass. Well, he's good at it.
Very good. Lead is 8. Brooks would have had a dunk, had to collect it, and then puts it home. Still counts 2 points.
Let's see if Bucknell can go play inside out again. They really like that diagonal pass out of their low block. Look over their shoulder and give it up. It's good stuff.
And that's going to be a foul on Pinson. Five team fouls on North Carolina. This game is a homecoming for a pair of Bucknell players who are from the state of North Carolina. Ben Robertson from High Point and John Meeks from Burlington. Meeks on that squad at Burlington, that was a monster team. The 4 years he was there, 119 wins and only 6 losses. Carolina gets the steal. Pinson the finish. Showtime for North Carolina.
Welcome back, Joel Barry. It's good stuff.
To the hole. Just nowhere to go with that ball, and a foul is going to be called. That's going to go against Barry. That's going to be his second. Barry to Pinson.
Well, Joel Barry, just a tremendous competitor. Roy Williams getting a little hot on that last call.
Toomer, sophomore from Atlanta, steps up. 1 more to come. Took over the starting small forward spot midway through his freshman season last year. When he got on campus, he showed Nathan Davis that he was ready to play defense. And that's really one of the things that got him early minutes in his career. Missed them both. Pinson. May, look at this, inside in the finish. Brandon Huffman. Timeout Bucknell. So you love it when you come into the game and get into the scoring books in a matter of seconds, and that's what happened with Huffman.
North Carolina national championship ball movement puts pressure on the defense. And once again, Luke May with the assist inside, and the big fella, Brandon Huffman, flushes it. That's good offense by the Tar Heels of North Carolina.
Huffman comes from a military family, and he grew up in Anchorage. Won a state championship in high school in Anchorage. Can you imagine playing high school ball in Alaska and seeing somebody like that?
There's some serious road trips up there, too.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I had some friends who've coached up there, and you're getting on airplanes and flying through snowstorms, and good luck in landing, but those are the best pilots in the world up there.
All right, Mark, what's Bucknell got to do right now to stop the bleeding and get back in the game?
Well, I just think continue to show some poise. They lost their poise, got some turnovers, which led to some easy baskets for North Carolina. They got to continue to spread it, go to Nana Fallon down low, and then spot up on the three ball on the perimeter. When they've done that, they've executed their offense well for Nathan Davis. You know, defensively, and Nathan Davis knows this was his biggest concern. If you turn it over in long rebounds, it turns to easy baskets for Carolina. They just go.
So Brown steps up on the 1-and-1. And just can't afford to do that.
They've done it consistently here in the first half. They just haven't made free throws.
Pinson, the pull-up. Brown the board, and he'll bring it into the front court quickly. Look how quickly North Carolina gets back on defense.
You know, 5 white jerseys just sprinted down the floor defensively. That's coaching. Roy Williams doesn't get enough credit.
Fallen inside. Good defense by Huffman as that shot went off the right side of the rim. Carolina just owning the backboard right now. Pinson spins it in. I think Roy Williams would probably like to see him use that left hand if he could. Spun it in with reverse action with the right hand. Toomer whips it outside to McKenzie. The look away to Brown, and that three wouldn't stay in there. Thomas follows up for 2.
That's what Zach Thomas does. Finds ways to settle his team down, get back to good execution. That time a bunny off the offensive glass. That
was the first offensive rebound of the game for the Bison. May puts it on the floor. Followaway wouldn't hang in there. There's a chance for Bucknell to put a couple of buckets back to back. 3 on the way, down.
There's the points. These guys have been around a while. This is an NCAA tournament team with 10 top players back.
Toomer's 3 cuts the lead to 11.
As you mentioned, they were down 15 to West Virginia in the NCAA tournament. They came back. So North Carolina fans, don't go out for dinner and a beer yet.
Drive would not go for Platek, and the follow's up and good. And Huffman making the most of some early minutes here against Bucknell.
As a coach, that's what you love to see. A guy that waits for his turn and when he gets in the game is productive.
Fallen, and he's fouled. If we've been able to hold on to that, we were going to have another Showtime slam. He'll be at the free throw line when we come back. 3:03 to go, first half at the Smith Center. 45-32, North Carolina. 3:03 to go, first half. North Carolina leads Bucknell by 13. Luke May, 12 points in 16 minutes.
I love a guy that moves without the basketball. That's a basketball player. I love a guy that can create opportunities for his teammates. That's a basketball player. I like a guy who has vision on defense and takes away dribble penetration. That's a basketball player. That's a basketball player, Luke May, number 32 for North Carolina. That kid can play.
Yeah, he's having a great first half. Carolina out-rebounding Bucknell 23-9 here in the first half, and that's a big reason that they've built the lead here as we close in on halftime. Nana Fallon that steps up to the free throw line for 2 as we come back to live action. I guess that was a non-shooting foul. They're in the bonus. Earns the second free throw.
Nana Fallon has been a bright spot for Nathan Davis and Bucknell in the first half. He's shown himself to be a high-quality big man in college basketball here in the first half against a lot of talent in North Carolina.
He's got 8 points. Nate Sestina comes in. 6'9", 247. Felton's been relatively quiet here in the first half. Here's May. Gives it up to Felton. They make the one extra pass to Williams. Tell you what, Kenny Williams can consistently make that outside shot. He's going to be one of the best players in the ACC this year.
Jalek Felton right there with a really nice job of not getting greedy, just making the extra pass.
Brown.
It's tough.
Nice shot.
That'll score the Patriot and the ACC.
Yeah. Coach Williams, a young guy who had not one but 2 knee surgeries last year. May goes baseline, then kicks it back outside to Felton, who fires for 3. Sestina in there amongst the trees and gets the rebound. Wide open look for McKenzie, and he knocks it in.
These guys are hanging around.
And we'll stay at this end. Playtech had that ball knocked away. Here's Manley coming back in for Roy Williams, and he replaces Huffman. Gets a nice hand here at the Smith Center.
Roy Williams trying to get everybody involved in this first half at Bucknell. I don't think they're going to let him do it.
Nope.
Bucknell showing a lot of guts here on the road to defending national champs.
Manley, boy, he's so tough. So long. It's going to be difficult to stop him when he gets the ball on the low block like that. Pushes the lead back to double digits, 50-39. 3 on the way. Will not go down for Brown. And we're closing on 90 seconds to play first half. Manley's pass into the pivot is deflected. 3 on the way would not go down for Toomer. 1 and done. North Carolina has dominated the rebounding here in the first half. Here's Williams, and that's going to be a travel. Turnover for North Carolina, their 6th.
Of all the things North Carolina has done here in the first half, the thing that I am most impressed with for Roy Williams and Tar Heels, defensive transition. And right there, the last possession, Bucknell had the advantage as they got the basketball. 4 white jerseys got ahead of them.
Yeah, they get back on defense and they talk at the defensive end.
And their big dudes sprint down the floor. They don't run, they sprint.
It's going to be an offensive foul.
That's an example of who makes the initial contact. Who's the guy that forces action and makes contact? And in that case, it was the offensive player, not a Fallon.
So Fallon picks up the foul, and he's going to spend the rest of the first half on the bench. A minute to play, first half.
It's a big defensive possession here for Bucknell. They need to stop a 1 and done.
Good help defense by the Bison. Manley. Oh, nice pass, but Playtech couldn't control it. Goes out of bounds. Another turnover for Carolina. They're 7th. Pinson will come back up on the wood for the final 48.4.
So keep your eye on 2 Bucknell players. Number 2, Stephen Brown. He has the ball right now. And Zach Thomas, number 23, on the left-hand wing. Keep an eye on him. He's their big shot maker. There's Brown. There you go.
And puts it up and in. Used the rim for protection. Laid it up and in. And so an opportunity at 2 for 1. Nice recognition by Brown. They cut the lead to single digits at 50-41. Inside of 30 seconds to play. May kicks it back outside to Woods. Woods got a screen, and that's going to be an illegal screen on Pinson. His 2nd foul.
This is another emphasis point that we're going to talk about at halftime, that when you set your screen, you can't make yourself as wide as a canyon, and you can't move into the offensive player. The official was right on top of that call. Watch the screen as it comes across. Luke May's going to give it up, and then it's going to come back out. And then watch the screen on ball. Watch this, right there. Just leans right into it. Doesn't give the defender time to move at all. Just ran right into it. That's a good call.
North Carolina has led by as many as 16. They've cut the lead to 9, and they want to take the last shot here.
Again, it's Brown, number 23, Zach Thomas. There he is.
Thomas in traffic. May got to get it to the rim. The pass, and that is going to come after the horn. 7th Woods was going to the basket as quickly as he could. I don't think he understood how much time was left. Nevertheless, North Carolina heads back to the locker room here at the Smith Center. A leader after our first 20-minute session. North Carolina 50, Bucknell 41. Fallen above the rim. May had a big first half. Our halftime activities from Chapel Hill are coming next. Stay tuned. And it's halftime here at the Smith Center. Our second half of Bucknell and North Carolina is coming up. But in this installment of the Little Experts, our pint-sized panel meets up with Coach Roy Williams and some North Carolina players.
What's your name?
My name is Roy. You like the Tar Heels, I can tell.
No, I don't.
You talked to Coach today?
Yes.
Was he nice to
And
y'all?
I said you guys are troublemakers.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You're gonna kick them on the butt if they lose.
You know what? I've told them that I was going to do that.
Do you ever throw a tantrum?
No, I get up and stomp my foot. I stomp my right foot, and then I clap my hands really loud like that. 1, 2, 3. That's right. That lets every official in the crowd know who's smart.
You have to make your bed or do chores.
I do not make my bed.
Who makes your bed? Your mom? Your wife?
I don't live with my mom anymore.
What words do you say instead of naughty words?
I say dadgummit a lot.
You just said it, so time out. Time out. Time out. Time out.
I'll dip.
Oh, Ava, you right in my space.
1 fish, 2 fish, red fish,
Blue fish.
fish. That away.
He hanging on to my neck.
I made it! Go, 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 go,
Talk about boy. You want to talk about Cohen? Put your hand up. Good work, boy. Victory.
Hey, Coach.
Victory. No, don't shake his hand.
1, 2, 3.
Chicken nuggets and pizza.
Time for another break here at the Smith Center in Chapel Hill. But when we come back, Mark Adams breaks down rule changes for college basketball this season. Second half is coming up. Stay tuned. Our halftime activities continue here at the Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Our second half between the Bison of Bucknell and the North Carolina Tar Heels is coming up. Dave Weekley alongside Mark Adams. And Mark, it's so early in the college basketball season. Let's talk a little bit about rule changes and, first of all, points of emphasis.
Well, we're going on steroids now on creating freedom of motion and lack of physicality. And here's how we're going to do it this season. So reduce that physicality, create that freedom of movement. How do you do it? First of all, watch traveling in the post and the perimeter. Dave, they got to work on this. I see so many guys on the perimeter that pick up their pivot feet. I see post guys that change their pivot feet. That's going to be enforced. Wide screens. We got guys setting screens as wide as the Grand Canyon right now. You've got to have your feet about shoulder width, but you don't necessarily have to have them 5 feet apart, 6 feet apart. So you got to keep them a little bit in. Hook and hold plays. How many times you see a guy come off a screen and fake the hook, and then the hold, and then fall down? Same way on rebounding as well. And then enforcement of the coaching box. The coaching box now is 10 feet wider. If you get outside of the coaching box, you're sent to your naughty chair, and it's a Class B technical foul, 1-shot foul. If you become unsportsmanlike, even inside or outside of your coaching box, that's a 2-shot foul, and you got a chance to be thrown out of here.
All right, regarding the addition of a bigger coaching box, Roy Williams made a very interesting point this week saying, hey, this is a great idea as long as it's enforced. He says oftentimes when you see that coach moving down into that coaching box, it's like going up against a sixth defender.
Well, it's all because they want the coaches to have the opportunity to communicate with their team on the opposite end. I think it's a good rule. It's an old school rule. When I was coaching a long time ago, 20 years ago, we had the coaching box basically went all the way out to half court at times. and I can communicate with my team. I like that a lot.
All right, we'll see if they enforce these new rules as we go along into the season. Highlights and stats from our first half coming up. Bucknell and North Carolina, second half straight ahead. North Carolina leads Bucknell 50-41 as we get ready for our second half. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. Dave Weekly with Mark Adams here at courtside. And Mark, let me ask you, first of all, Carolina committed 4 turnovers in the last 2 minutes of the first half. Kind of cracked the door open for Bucknell. How do you see the second half?
Well, I see the second half is more of what we saw, especially spacing-wise from North Carolina. They're executing their offense in November more like it's January. Look at the white jersey spacing. Look at the screen right there, and Luke May is wide open. In the open court, this is where they're so dangerous because they move the basketball so quickly from one side to the other. Joe Barry, welcome back, son. Did a nice job knocking that shot down. And then look at Luke May. He draws defenders, contracts the defense, everybody sucks in, then they've got to go back out. And there's Manley inside to knock that thing down.
And how about three-point field goal shooting for Bucknell? 6 of 15 from outside the arc.
Yeah, 40% from 3. That's why they're only down by 9. And Zach Thomas is a really good basketball player as he knocks it down. You know, this is a team that has poise. They can take the runs that North Carolina had, and they still knock down the 3-ball right there. Bucknell's got some weapons to knock down a 3-ball to stay in this game.
What jumps out of there out at you in those first half stats outside of the rebound edge by North Carolina?
Well, and how about the assists of 14 assists for North Carolina on 19 baskets? That is efficient, unselfish offense for the North Carolina Tar Heels, the defending national champions. 9
different Tar Heels scored in the first half. I wanted to ask you, what do you think about Joel Berry? Is he showing any rust to you?
You know, I really don't think so. He came out and knocked down a 3-ball early on. The thing that I like about him in the open court when Carolina goes from defense to offense, he really accelerates the basketball. He's a guy that can get up and down quickly, and he's willing to give the ball up into the passing lanes in front of him as well.
All right, let's get our second half underway, and Carolina's got the basketball to start. And the aforementioned Barry, the point guard, into the front court. Both of these teams have played a lot of man-to-man, and we really haven't seen much zone pressure in this game to this point. Kenny Williams thought about a 3. Joel Berry swings into the lane. Here's Pinson for 3 from the left wing. Brooks the board and a fresh 30 seconds.
Well, that was a good defensive sequence, except they didn't finish it.
Berry missed it all, and the ball belongs to the Bison.
Bucknell just played 2 solid possessions of man-to-man defense. That's about as good as it gets.
Nathan Davis imploring his team to come on. They're only trailing 9 with a whole second half to go here in Chapel Hill.
They're going to try to get Zach Thomas a look early in this half, number 23 for the Bison of Bucknell. Luke May's matched up, and there he is.
Here's Thomas. They make the extra pass. The 3 out of the corner is good. Down for Toomer. And just like that, it's a 6-point game, and Toomer's got 6 on the game.
The more Zach Thomas can touch the basketball, he's the great equalizer in this basketball game. He matches up well with North Carolina.
And for the moment, the crowd is out of this game. Garrison Brooks gives the home fans something to cheer about. He's got 8 points.
Well, let's see how much this offense runs through Zach Thomas now. There's not a falling down low.
Fallen over Brooks, rattles it in.
Good 1-2 punch for Bucknell.
He's in double figures now at 10. Brooks on a low block. Here's Barry off a screen. Barry to the bucket. Following the rebound.
That looked like rust right there.
2-possession game after Carolina led by 16 at one point in the first half. Thomas the dish.
Oh, is that a good
wide open 3. Too strong by Brown. He was too open after a great fake.
It's a great pass fake.
Pinson kicks it inside to Brooks. And this is going to be North Carolina basketball. Last touched by Bucknell. Roy Williams going for North Carolina win number 400 tonight. number 200 for the Tar Heels in this building under his tutelage.
He had over 400 at Kansas, right?
That's amazing. That is just amazing. Over 400 wins at 2 different programs. Thomas with a block. Shot clock obviously will not reset. Well, how did he see Pinson? And a foul is going to be called on the Bison. That's going to go against Toomer.
Dave, that's a great question. Luke May sees everything.
Yeah, that was a laser pass.
If somebody's eating popcorn at the top of this arena in section 217, he knows if it's cheddar or Cracker Jacks. He sees everything.
Manley. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's more skilled shooting the ball on that turnaround than I think a lot of the defenders want to believe. He made that look really easy.
I live in Ohio. You think there might be a few Buckeyes watching this game when how did this guy?
Yeah. Well, those leg injuries, and he wasn't all that highly recruited, falling on the turnover. Bison had the lead cut to 6 a moment ago. Carolina's got the ball and an 8-point lead here early in the second half. May. Off the window, wouldn't go in there. Manley, the board. Couldn't make the putback. Boy, Thomas, amongst all that hype for Carolina, came out of there with a defensive rebound.
Yeah, Thomas is the one guy that can really play at this level. He can play at this level, Dave. He's legit.
That was from 28 feet at least. 14 points now. Barry. And a foul before the shot. So Stina's coming in, and Brown picks up the foul, his second.
Boy, Zach Thomas has really exerted his will here in the second half.
Barry to May, who wants to work on Thomas. Spins into the lane with the right hand, can't finish it. This ball controlled by Bucknell. They're down 5 and a chance to get closer. Here's Thomas for 3. Got a good look at it, too strong.
I got no problem with that shot.
Barry blows past the defense, and a foul is going to be called. Third personal now on Brown. So Brown will exit, and Sotos will come back in for Bucknell. Manley to the bench, and Brooks comes back on for Carolina. Barry inside to Brooks, and he's fouled. And he will go to the line for 2.
Okay, Nathan Davis has done a really good job of defensive adjustments here to start the second half. For one thing, North Carolina hasn't gotten any runouts. That's been a big plus for Bucknell. But secondly, they've played much better position defense in their half-court sets. They've stayed between the ball and the basket and challenged everything. It's given North Carolina some trouble.
Brooks now, 2 games in double figures for North Carolina. He's got 10. He started at center against Northern Iowa last Friday night. Became the first freshman to do that since Tyler Zeller in 08. Take a quick break. 15:49 to go, second half. Got a good one cooking here at the Smith Center. North Carolina 56, Bucknell 49. Early in the second half, Tar Heels up by 7. Bucknell's Zach Thomas leads all scorers with 14.
Well, Zach Thomas of the Bucknell Bison is a dual threat. We know that. He averages 27 points and 13 rebounds a game, but he's also a biomedical engineer at Bucknell. Thomas is a work in progress as a biomedical engineering student, as his senior project is really interesting. He's helping to develop a rapid dual injection syringe, which is now a prototype, and that helps to inject a drug which is very effective against supraventricular tachycardia, which is abnormal heart rate, a quick heart rate. This kid, his teammates call him a nerd. Thank God we have nerds like this on the Bucknell campus, as this young man is developing this rapid dual injection syringe and it's right now going through non-human testing. And this guy saw another senior project from Bucknell on this topic and decided to pick it up and run with it. And now he's meeting with CEOs of companies. He's learned how to be a communicator and an engineer. It's a fascinating story.
I heard you talking to him earlier today about this particular story, but Mark, let me ask you honestly. He took the ball out of bounds in front of our broadcast position when you were talking about him. Do you think he heard you?
I'm positive he did.
Okay.
It was by design.
16 points now to lead all scores. 56-51. You know, I think for some Carolina fans at this point of the game, and that's going to be a foul against North Carolina. I think at this point, some of the Tar Heel fans were probably thinking they would be searching for their car keys. And they're in the middle of a ball game here. Williams, his first foul. 56-51. Bucknell's got the ball, and they're down by 5.
And Zach Thomas has been the best player on the floor, period, in the second half. This is how Bucknell came back against West Virginia in the NCAA tournament. There's Thomas.
Pinson trying to shut him down if he can. Forces the issue, got to the rim. Loose ball controlled by May. Carolina's had the better of it on the glass at both ends tonight. North Carolina just 2 of 9 to start the second half from the field.
There we saw the value of Theo Pinson. He could guard multiple positions. They matched him up with Zach Thomas, and that was a good matchup on that possession.
Foul on McKenzie. His second came before the shot. Yeah, Pinson literally can play almost any position on the floor.
He can guard anybody. They had Luke May matched up with Zach Thomas. That wasn't working out very well, so they switched Theo Pinson, see how that works out.
And there's another foul. Sotos guilty this time, his first. Fallen comes back in, and Thomas will get a brief rest, but you can bet he's not going to be out of the lineup for long.
No.
That is 6 team fouls now on the Bison. The next one will put North Carolina into the bonus early. We still have just under 15 minutes to go, second half. Sotos, physical rebound, and he brings it into the front court himself. Lead is just 5, the dump down. Fallen wants to turn on May, turns into the traffic and scores anyway.
One goes lefty right there. Really showed good patience inside. Not a foul.
56-53, and the crowd trying to get behind the heels here. This is as close as the Bison have been in a while.
Look at the patience of Nana Fallen. Look how Luke May is bodying up with him. That's the worst thing you can do defensively. He should separate so Nana Fallen can't feel him. Good back to the basket players. When they can feel you, they can score on you. There's some great mid-major bigs. Jock Landale is unbelievable at St. Mary's. Mike Dahm at South Dakota State. Taco Fall, 7'6" at Central Florida. There's Nana Fallen right there. Alize Johnson, a guy maybe you haven't heard of from Missouri State. Those are some really good bigs on the list.
Carolina in the bonus. Barry makes the first. (57-53), just over 14 minutes to go. 1 of 2. Rather, earned the bonus and missed it.
You could feel North Carolina tightening up there.
A little bit.
Yep.
A little bit. That freewheeling half-court stuff that was happening in the first half has been shut down, at least for the moment. Fallen. Lost the handle. Pinson comes up with it. Leads it back. He wants to push the issue, and he does.
Boy,
he's got 11.
Some of the Tar Heels been in a little bit of retreat mode, not Theo Pinson. He's in attack mode.
And here come the fans. 3 on the way, and it's down for Sestina. His first bucket of the game.
Boy,
it's a 3-point game.
Sweet looking stroke.
Barry for 3. And that's going to be May over the top. That's his first personal foul.
Theo Pinson has been the one bright spot here in the second half for North Carolina. We saw him do it defensively, macked up with Zach Thomas, and then he runs down and lays that up, and then the 3-ball from Bucknell. They're trading 3s for 2s right now. And when they go for 2, they go down to the big fella, Nana Fallen. We told you not to go away. Here's why. This team is seasoned. 10 returning players for a team that gave West Virginia all they won in the NCAA tournament last year. Lost at Monmouth, lost at Arkansas. They got a shot to win tonight.
Three wouldn't go, and Felton, who just came into the game, comes out of there with a rebound to Williams, and he can't save it. Turnover number 10 against North Carolina. And here's another opportunity for Bucknell to tie the game here with a three. Felton with some token pressure.
And if Bucknell can keep this thing to 3 or less without Zach Thomas, who's checking in right now, that's a big moral victory for the Bison. That's a charge.
Oh, and a block is going to be called on Williams. Sotos looked like he was out of control, but the call will go against Carolina.
He didn't look like he was out of control. He was out of control, but the official saw the defender move. Zach Thomas back in the game. Felton matched up with him. That's a freshman matched up with him.
Fallen. A good looking right-handed jump hook shot. It's down. It's a 1-point game. He's got 14.
You've seen Fallen go lefty and righty the last 2 times he scored.
Felton swings it to Williams, who tees up a three. And Thomas outbattles May for the rebound. Brown for the lead. Manley the rebound. Way above the cylinder to pull that one down.
For the Bucknell get back. They're not giving up anything easy.
Felton spinning, and May can't put it in, but he'll go to the line for 2. And that's a big foul. That's the 4th on Brown. May is just 3 of 6 at the line tonight. One more coming.
Boy, Bucknell, they've played on the road at Monmouth, at Arkansas, at North Carolina tonight, and then at Maryland in the first 8 days of the season.
May with 2. Jordan Sechin is in the game now for Bucknell.
Luke May now matched up with Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas has taken advantage of that matchup.
And a turnover on the Bison. Fallen traveled. Got a good one going here in Chapel Hill. 11:48 to go, second half. North Carolina leads Bucknell, but only by 3. 61-58. Zach Thomas, 16 points.
Zach Thomas with precision, like an engineer that's developing the rapid dual injection syringe. I love that jump shot so much. My heart is fluttering right now, but I'm not intimidated because the nerd, Zach Thomas, has developed the rapid dual injection syringe, and I know he's on my side.
Saw what you did there. I liked it.
You like that?
I like that. 9 of 11, or 9 of 21 rather, outside the arc for the Bison on the game, and that's really what's keeping them in the game. May, bam! He knocks in a 3.
Big shot!
And out of a timeout, that's huge. 17 points for Luke May tonight. McKenzie. Take it to the baseline. Couldn't knock it in. Offensive rebound. That's been a rarity. Bruce Moore collected it. Thomas with the dish. And a foul before the shot.
This is like a 15 seed versus a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it?
Feels just like that. And maybe an undervalued 15 seed, by the way, just like Middle Tennessee State was when they knocked off Michigan State 2 years ago as a number 15 seed.
Fouls on Williams. That's his 4th. Five team fouls on Carolina. Tar Heels are already in the bonus.
He's got a mismatch with Zach Thomas right now, size mismatch. He could use a size jump over the defender.
Takes Woods down
Sees
low,
over
and then the
defender.
dish and the dunk. That's a throwdown by Bruce Moore.
Now that started because Zach Thomas could see over 6'1" Woods. That was an easy pass for Thomas to make.
It was Moore's first bucket. It comes at a big time. Barry.
Good screen by Pinson.
Nice battle inside. Manley's got it on the low block. Playtech gives it back to the freshman who turns away from the traffic, hits a shot, and will go to the line to try to finish the old-fashioned three-point play. He's got 8 points tonight.
You know, Manley, for as young as he is, he really shows good patience down the block right there. He tried to go inside off the dribble, was denied, and then just took a little turn to the baseline.
Boy, he has really got a good-looking
Really good,
shot.
isn't he? He's really good, Dave. He's going to be special.
First free throw attempt of the game, and he knocks it in. So a couple of big buckets out of that timeout for North Carolina. A three from May and a three-point play by Manley. 67-60 North Carolina.
See if Bucknell can show their experience and maturity here.
Fallon couldn't get it to hang in there. Woods quickly into the front court. And a turnover.
That's a terrible pass.
11th on the game for North Carolina.
Hard to catch your ball with your baby toe.
Sotos back outside to Toomer. McKenzie, and he rocket inside. Fallen, counting, and a chance at a three-point play. That time he put it in with the left hand.
On this possession, Bucknell was wheeling the basketball, and it was a bad pass up top, where Bucknell player had to really go get it. Now watch, look at Zach Thomas. He tells him, reverse the ball, reverse the ball. Why? Because Nana Fallon was isolated on the low block. What recognition by number 23 on the backside to tell his teammate to wheel the ball to create the isolation on the backside block for Fallon. That's good stuff.
Garrison Brooks now with 4 fouls. Fallon completes the three-point play. He's got 17 points tonight. He's had a quiet night rebounding basketball, just 2 rebounds. Has a pair of block shots, but 17 big points. Pinson reverses it up and in off the window. Man, his right hand is magical.
Jordan-like right there underneath the basket. That's good stuff.
13 points. Thomas with a wide open look.
North Carolina dodged the bullet right there.
Sure did.
He's shooting 56% on the season from 3.
Woods, the pull-up. Following the rebound.
But when they've been able to reverse the basketball, they've got good things going offensively.
Thomas. That's going to be an offensive foul. Pinson draws it. Second on Thomas.
Theo Pinson's a guy you win national championships with because he's so valuable defensively and versatile defensively. Comes outside the arc, sets his feet in a good defensive position. It's the right call.
10 turnovers now for Bucknell. The last Bison lead was 7-6, 2 minutes into the first half. Barry swings down the lane. He forces the issue, and he'll step up to the line for 2.
So Dave, when was the last time Bucknell beat an ACC school? Was it 1961?
Oh.
Is that right?
Boy, I'm not sure.
It's a long time ago, I
Yeah.
know that. I think it was 1961.
3 fouls now on Toomer. I know their last, well, I can help you with this. This would be their first upset of a ranked team since 05 against number 7 Pitt.
Right.
Of course, Pitt's in the ACC now. Do I get partial credit for that?
Get partial credit for
Okay.
that, absolutely.
Yeah, Virginia, 1961.
How about that?
There you go.
Huh?
There you go.
We're bringing our A game tonight here in Chapel Hill. We're not messing around. I was 5 years old. I remember that game.
71-63. Has North Carolina survived the Bucknell push? Thomas, follow won't go. Sestina, though, will go to the line.
Boy, Sestina's done a really good job coming off the bench. You like guys that understand their role. He's a big-bodied dude that can set good screens. He can bang the three ball, and right there, sold out for the offensive glass.
Came from a really small high school. Athletic family. His mom was a swimmer at IUP. Makes the first free throw. Granddad played football at Carnegie Tech. One more free throw. Bangs them both in. Two-possession game. The lead is 6 for North Carolina. They got the basketball. Closing in on 8 minutes to go, second half. May. Got up in the air with nowhere to go and threw it away.
A very unusual play by Luke May. Got outside his comfort zone there. Good defense by Bucknell. Held their ground.
Thought he was going to try to force something to the rim. 12 turnovers now for North Carolina.
Good spacing, good patience here.
Sestina wants to go to work again on May. Right-hander wouldn't go.
Not crazy about the fadeaway there.
Nope. He was feeling it, though.
Could feel it going to the basket, though.
Yeah, Pinson won't stay in there. Sestina's everywhere. Another rebound for Bucknell.
Big, strong guy. Don't fade away. Attack the basket.
Here's Thomas against Pinson. And that's going to be a foul against Pinson. Fans don't like it. 7:27 to go, second half. North Carolina leads Bucknell 71-65. 7:27 to go, second half. North Carolina 71, Bucknell 65. Some of the key moments of the game. May's got 17 points so far tonight. Manley 9 and 9 off the bench for Carolina. Pinson's got 13. What a nice reverse. Luke May tonight. 43 points in his first 2 games combined. 17 points now to go along with 6 rebounds. And Thomas is going to step up to the free throw line.
He's averaging over 27 on this young season and over 13 rebounds as well. Misses the free throw.
Pinson the rebound. Barry made his first field goal attempt. He's 0 for 7 since then from the field. May left it short. Loose ball tipped back outside and a fresh 30 for Carolina.
I'd like to see Theo Pinson get a touch here. He's been really good here for the last 5 minutes.
Barry blocked. Bruce Moore sent it out.
We saw Bruce Moore get the dunk, and he's an athletic guy that matches up well with the North Carolina athletes. That time defensively rejects the shot by Joel Berry.
Mark, how about this non-conference schedule for Bucknell? When you take a look at Monmouth, Arkansas, North Carolina tonight, and then at Maryland over 8 days, all on the road.
I question Nathan Davis's sanity.
Barry out of the corner. And that's a foul on McKenzie. Playtech was doing everything he could to get to that basketball, and he earns a trip to the line.
You know, we asked Nathan Davis today about that schedule, and he talked about the disadvantage of being in a one-bid league and being a really good team in a one-bid league where nobody wants to play them.
Yep.
So they really had to go on the road to play against good competition. in what we call these buy games, where typically you're going to get paid about $100,000 to come and play these games without a return back to Bucknell, which I think is a flaw in the whole scheduling schematics. I mean, the New York Yankees can't buy home games to go to the Major League Baseball playoffs.
True.
New England Patriots can't buy home games to go to the NFL playoffs. My high school team in Springboro, Ohio can't buy home games to influence who goes to postseason.
That's not what I heard.
These games just aren't right to me. But I'm one crying wolf in the wilderness, I guess.
Playtech misses a pair of free throws. Door's still open for Bucknell, down the lane, and good for Sestina.
Well, that kid's made a big difference.
4-point game inside of 6.5 minutes to go, second half. Brown still on the bench for Bucknell with 4 fouls.
Dave, this is also the difference between a one-game blowout against Northern Iowa and Bucknell's got 2 games under their belt.
Manley couldn't knock it in. Following the rebound.
With a highly experienced bunch in the blue and orange tonight for Bucknell.
McKenzie with the pass.
Good look.
Ballin left it short, made the board.
Oh, I like the shot. I like the execution, just not the end result.
And Pinson's fouled, and he'll go to the line. Well, you can tell when he's got the rock coming across half court, he's not going to stop until he gets to the basket.
But how about Nate Sestina coming across the lane and denying that shot? Kid's a good athlete.
And how many coaches take a look at Pinson and say, you got to stop him, you got to get between him and the basket, but that's easier said than done. He's got 14 points now. Sestina will exit.
You see a guy like Theo Pinson who's played in back-to-back national championship games, and he's been as aggressive as anybody on the floor tonight. That experience makes such a tremendous difference.
It was decision time for Nathan Davis on when to put Stephen Brown back into the game. And Davis says the time is now. He's back in there with under 6 minutes to play. He's playing with 4 personal fouls. Pinson's got 15. That's a career high. The lead is 6. Thomas got a screen, left it short. Brown for 3, back iron no good. Another offensive rebound. Those offensive rebounds that were so tough to come by in the first half, suddenly Bucknell got a pair of them. And Brown left that one short. Maine made him change the shot.
And they had a mismatch with Zach Thomas matched up with Joel Berry, and they didn't recognize it. Good lift fake.
Manley puts it up and in, tapped it in with the right hand. He's got 11.
Boy, Roy Williams fired up. He wants some defense right now.
And Bucknell wants a timeout. 4:48 to go. Second half. North Carolina 75, Bucknell 67. Well, fresh off their win in Notre Dame, undefeated Miami is home again to take on Virginia with their sights set on the college football playoffs. Saturday at noon Eastern on ABC. Also streaming live on the ESPN app.
Theo Pinson has been the story in the second half. He's had to overcome some foot injuries in his career, but tonight, there's the pass inside to Luke May early in this game, and then he finds the open space and dunks it home for the Tar Heels. Theo Pinson, when he's in attack mode, really, really good. But what I like best about Theo Pinson is his ability to defend. And when he defends, he can take it coast to coast and finish. Back-to-back national title games, that experience paying off huge dividends tonight for Roy Williams and the Tar Heels of North Carolina.
You could see a career-high 15 points tonight. Bucknell had the lead cut to 1 at 59-58 with just under 13 minutes to play second half. 4.5 minutes to go now. It's 75-67. And that's a foul that's going to go against the Bison. McKenzie now with 4 fouls.
Yeah, he pushed off. Good job by North Carolina of denying the pass back. He got a little bit frustrated.
Williams Luke May knocks it in for three.
What a quick release by Luke May. That thing was in his fingertips and gone.
20 points now. Thomas, and he's fouled by May. And for May, that's his third personal foul.
Luke May has worked harder than anybody over the last 2 years. And look at that. That's the product of the hard work. That ball touched his fingertips and then goes through the net. That was a quick release.
So May will take a seat for just a sec. 26 points and 10 rebounds against Northern Iowa last Friday. And he's got 20 points tonight. Wouldn't stay in there. And Manley is fouled. So we'll go to the other end. Manley's really stepped up big in this game. Fallon is called on the personal. That's his fourth. Brooks has been saddled with foul trouble. But it's been Manley, one of the other young big guys for Carolina, who's come through with a double-double, 11 points and 11 rebounds.
When Zach Thomas, as well as he's played, he's struggled from the free throw line, 50% tonight. It's a nice looking stroke.
Love the way he shoots the ball. That guy's pretty happy about it too. Roy Williams could be just a couple of moments away from his 400th win as the head coach at North Carolina. 200 wins in this building.
That means he won 200 away from this building.
That's really impressive too.
Yeah.
All right, so the lead is now 13 as we get ready to turn under 4 minutes. Thomas.
Tough.
And Bucknell needed that in the worst way. He's got 19 points, and it cuts the lead to 10.
And now for Carolina, it's just about getting shots, not turning it over. Got a mismatch inside. Take advantage of it, Theo Pinson. That's smart.
Pinson forces the issue. Toomer fouls him, and Pinson will go to the line. And Toomer now has 4 fouls. 3:43 to go, second half. North Carolina by 10. Nathan Davis and Bucknell down 10. 3:43 to go, second half at North Carolina. Bison picked to win the Patriot League again, followed by Boston University, Navy, Lehigh, and Colgate at the top. Think about this. The 3 senior captains, Stephen Brown, Nana Fowlin, and Zach Thomas, they've won 3 regular season Patriot League titles. They've been to the NCAAs and to the NIT twice. Not bad.
Yeah. And this is a program that has a history of great upsets. They beat Vandy last year. They knocked off Purdue in 2012. Arizona in the NIT, I was around for that one. Xavier. They beat Syracuse back in 2005. And, of course, they knocked off Kansas back in 2005 in the NCAA tournament, 64-63. I mean, this is a program. These are giant killers.
And
Patriot League.
And John Griffin is Bucknell class of 08. He's an assistant coach and was on the club that did that.
Great hustle.
Wow, get on the floor. Thomas got it right back. And Thomas was fouled, and he'll go to the line. But how about bodies on the floor? Williams is just Mr. Energy out there for Roy Williams.
Well, Kenny Williams just sold out for that basketball. While everybody else was watching, he was getting down the floor, losing some skin in the process.
Luke May whistled on the personal. That's his 4th. So here's a chance for Bucknell to cut it to 10 with the clock stopped. Thomas with 20 tonight.
Well, Nathan Davis, if this score holds and North Carolina wins, I can tell you one thing. Bucknell got better tonight.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did. Davis, of course, outstanding player. Randolph-Macon was head coach there for 6 years.
Did a great job there. Won about 78% of his games.
Yeah.
Randolph-Macon was always in the hunt for the national title.
Took him to the Division III Final Four. Went to the NCAAs every year.
Yep.
In his 3rd season now at Bucknell. Inside of 3 minutes to go. Barry making his season debut. Shot to the basket with just 2 on the shot clock. How about Manley? And Send it out to Williams, who goes baseline and under for 2. Kenny Williams with 8 points. Fallen.
I would not want to see these guys in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, they are
I would
dangerous.
not want to see them.
He's got 19 points tonight now.
They go on the road against the defending national champs. They're giving them everything they want. This is a really good basketball team, the Bucknell Bison out of the Patriot League.
Manley, and he finished it.
And if you're Carolina, you're going to get everybody's best shot. That's just reality.
Manley's having a night. Double-double, 15 points offensively. Brown, the lob, Fallen the jam. He's got 21 now. Inside of 2 minutes to play. Big headlines tonight. Roy Williams about to win victory number 400 at North Carolina. Joel Berry makes his season debut at the point. And Cameron Johnson, surgery today on his meniscus in the left knee, expected to be out 4 to 6 weeks for North Carolina.
Roy Williams, since 2003, 5 Final Fours, 3 national titles. That's more than anybody in that time frame. And now, win number 400 at North Carolina.
Toomer picks up the foul. That's his 5th. Jimmy Sotos will come into the game. Manley, 13 rebounds tonight to go along with those 15 points. When he earned those minutes, he was impressive from the jump tonight, coming in off the bench.
You're right, he earned those minutes tonight. And of all the guys I've watched play here tonight, he's the guy that stands out the most.
Young guy's been perfect at the line, too. 4 for 4 at the stripe. One more to come.
Because you just think upside. You just watch him run. You watch him move. You watch him anticipate defensively. You watch him shoot free throws. And he's a highly skilled big guy, and then he misses.
Yeah, jinxed him.
Yeah.
Just a moment ago, we got to look at that brand new NCAA championship banner as Brown puts a bucket in, and immediately Bucknell wants a timeout with a minute 15 to go. 87-78. That just went up last Friday night.
Joel Berry shared with me before the game that as much as he wanted to keep his emotions in check, when he saw that national championship banner, he cried. It just meant so much to him and to his teammates. The sacrifice, the level of competitiveness that Joel Berry brings to this program. I just thought it was just a wonderful story as you take a look at Roy Williams, 3 national titles, 5 Final Fours since 2005. That's more than anybody in college basketball during that time. 3 national titles.
You know what? When you take a look at the banners hanging here in the building, it almost really charts the history of college basketball.
Unbelievable.
I mean, you look back at the 1957 championship against Will Chamberlain, 82, that shot by some guy named Jordan. I predict big things for him.
I was in the building that night in the Superdome when he hit it.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been to North Carolina. And I guess if you don't know what you're missing, you don't necessarily miss it. I hope I get to come back someday, because this has been a wonderful experience seeing the history of this great storied program. All the banners, like you said, being here for Roy Williams' 400th victory at North Carolina tonight. Dean Smith, the legendary Dean Smith. To literally get here, you have to turn past the museum. I mean, how cool is that? How many museums do we go past when we go to an arena named after a legend? This has been basketball heaven for this basketball junkie.
And treated to a great game tonight.
That made it even better. I mean, Bucknell's played like crazy.
Really haven't seen too much full court pressure. Felton. Carolina breaks it.
1 minute remaining to play.
Minute to go. And that will rattle in for Brown. And Williams ahead of the pack. Look out. Williams into double figures with 10.
Well, welcome to the defending national championship party. You're just going to get everybody's best shot. That's what it's going to be night in, night out. Bucknell came in and gave their best shot. Now they go to Maryland.
And that's no walk in the park.
Nope.
Of course, Carolina getting ready for the PK 80.
Yep. That's a heck of a turn.
Where they could be on a collision course with Michigan State.
How about Miles Bridges?
Oh, my goodness.
Was he good? Now, Tom Izzo wasn't very happy with the rebounding last night.
Barry comes out of the game and gets a nice hand. Welcome back. Made his season debut tonight. Pinson's got 18. Make it 19.
Barry played on bad ankles during the Final Four last year. All he did was become the most outstanding player on 2 bad ankles.
Brown, short. Made the rebound, then the shot clock is off. And they'll dribble it out.
Witness history. Congratulations, Roy Williams. 400.
93-81, that is your final here at the Smith Center tonight. Bucknell cut the lead to 1 midway through the second half, but North Carolina pulls away for the victory. They are 2-0 on the season. Roy Williams, 400 wins here at North Carolina. Bucknell drops to 0-3 on the season. So for Mark Adams, I'm Dave Weekley saying so long from the Dean Smith Center, where the final score is North Carolina 93, Bucknell 81. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live on the ESPN app, or to watch the entire game on replay, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.